I want a white Get Right shirt.
We need to bring this to the air.
Can I get a white Get Right
Yeah,
shirt?
We're gonna have to order that. I'll look into it.
Yeah, you could order that. You could get. Oh, snap.
Hey, Notebook's already here. I
The
can like
Notebook
that
is-
nickname.
The Notebook's in the building.
Dude, you gotta love it. Hey, I don't even know where my head is. What? Oh, what up? What up? What up, world? Long awaited, man. The gang is back together. We got all three of us. It's gonna be a special episode, only because we're all three here. Frank,
Salute to
What's
that.
up? What's up, big?
Ant,
What's up, everybody? I'm here. We're ready. Got the red shirt with the red cup. You know what time it is. It's football time. Let's go.
Solo
Let's go.
it's game time. Frank, were you singing right now? You can finish.
Yeah, you never heard that song, The Red Solo Cup? Yeah, it goes.
Yeah, you killed it.
Nailed it.
I lift you up.
Something about
Yeah. Hey,
I don't know
we're
what
here.
I don't remember. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Hey, obviously, guys, we're paid now. So we start off with our promos. If you haven't joined Underdog, make sure you get into it. If you're not in there yet, use code GETRIGHT while time lasts. You could possibly still be getting $25 for joining. Sorry about my window, man. All right. Okay.
Gotta get your good side.
Yeah, they're both my good side. Nah, I'm kidding. Hey, so if you guys haven't used the code GETRIGHT, that's pretty much the biggest thing that we got going right now. Man, we're gonna start getting into some pick'ems, which we might do after the show. So stay tuned. If you guys are still up, we're gonna be in another one. Dim boys, Notebook. Sorry, I know there's a couple states that don't allow this kind of stuff. We're working on it, man. We have our lawyers on the case, so we'll get to you.
Not to get sidetracked, but I was thinking maybe they could use a VPN and say they're in California. Just saying. I'm just saying.
DM Frank, he's gonna get you a
Can't say that.
VPN.
Definitely can't say that.
Shout out to Legal
Shout out to Legal Shield.
Yeah. Who's the? I was trying to think of who the lawyer was. Man,
We'll
Out
get to
here
some more
is,
hack stuff later.
Oh, see, I was
Is
about
it
to
Lord
say
of
the
Fanta?
name and give him another thing.
Lord of Fanta?
Oh, is he a
Vance is the lawyer, yeah.
No, I thought it was King Saab that was the lawyer.
It's King Saab.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout
It
out
is
to
King
King
Saab.
Saab.
Shout out to King Saab if you're watching.
Help us
Frank
out.
just out here sipping apple juice. It looks like
Yeah.
it's
I'm
gonna
giving my
be a
liver a
great
break.
show.
Be on vacation pretty soon next week, and there's going to be a lot more drinking happening. So I need to, just liquefy it up. You know what I mean? Full on water, H2O, and then hit
Gotta
it hard
love
during
it.
the
Time to hydrate.
week. Yeah.
Time to
Gotta
hydrate.
love it.
So what are we talking about?
Guys, you know what we're talking about. It's going down tomorrow. The number one team in the
Football is upon
NFL.
us.
Wait, don't you have like an interesting stat of the day from one of our ambassadors?
Should I just jump right in? McGoats. See, we need like a cool intro when that comes in. Like
Yeah.
McGoats,
Ooh.
interesting fact.
We'll work on it.
Boys is
We'll
literal.
we'll
All right,
get another one.
guys. McGoats, interesting fact of the day. EJ Manuel is the only
got it.
quarterback to lose 3 games in 3 different countries: America, Canada, and England.
Interesting.
That's still a record. Like, if you ask me, like, dude, I hold NFL records.
Got
So,
mentioned tonight. They
Dude,
didn't
straight
mention
up,
me in the history books.
shout out EJ Manuel, man. They did him wrong.
Shout out to him. I know, right? I remember
If
him.
you want to get on the show, man, we'll have you.
He was on the Bills, wasn't he?
Yep.
Did you say that already? I think I might have missed the beginning of that.
Nah, you're right.
Oh, okay. So I knew that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
The brain's still firing. We're still good.
Hey, so tonight we're gonna hop into some of our Q&As that we had on our sleeper chat. If you guys aren't involved in the sleeper chat, obviously you two are. If you guys aren't involved in the sleeper chat, make sure you get into it. If you guys have any kind of questions, we'll do our. Sorry, I started reading dim voice chat.
I got you.
If you guys aren't in there, get in. Shoot your questions. We'll try to make it onto the show. So that's one thing we want to do. We always want to interact with everybody. We enjoy it. I was up really late talking to AKA last night, and we talked about everything under the sun, from football to baseball to classic movies, why LeBron shouldn't be on Space Jam 2. We're not going to go there.
Yikes.
Kick that man
Shots
out of the
fired.
league. Kick that man out of the league. Hey, but let's jump into it.
Well, just 1 second while you're on that. That is one reason why I love the sleeper community that we built there. You're going to get conversations about baseball at 1:30 in the morning Pacific.
I had it.
It's fun. It's just a good time. Guys that are just as crazy about fantasy football and just sports in general. Cool little community that we have on there. So check the description. The link's down there. Come join us, man. And put your notifications on sleep because it'll get crazy. It'll get crazy.
I've never put my phone on silent until that community right there. Hey, but you gotta love it. Sometimes it's me, so I apologize to everybody that I've kept up and who has us on silent, who's muted us. Hey, we'll get back on track. Hey, man, it's fine. Hey,
I stopped
so
you for
weird.
as long as I could. Go ahead.
It's so weird. It's finally happening, guys. Tomorrow night's like real football. Like finally, we're back.
Will be on the board. Points on the board.
All right, let me start off with a random question. Who's getting the first points of the fantasy football season? So who's getting the coin toss? Are they going to hand it off? Is it going to Zeke? Do you guys let's just break down this game a lot more for people.
Right.
I'm just curious. Who do you guys
I'll start off with some actual facts. Cowboys lead the series versus Tampa Bay 15-4-0. So we clearly dominated against Tampa Bay. The last 3
What about
games
against Brady?
Hold on. I'll get there.
Sorry.
Oh!
So the last 3 games was a loss, a win-win, and the previous 5 prior to that was 5 straight wins by the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys versus the Patriots when Brady was there is 7-6. Now that looks a lot closer. However, we were dominating the series up until when Brady got there. The last 5 wins were with Brady against Brady, and Brady has last 5 wins, which got him close to the 7-6. One other win prior to that, Brady being on the team.
5?
So they've won the last 6 against us. The Patriots have, but
we'll make that
specifically 7. The last 5 with Brady against us, and that's the number we're concerned with. So those are the numbers for win-loss ratio.
I wish we could have fast forwarded that.
Hey, but it's 15-4.
We're gonna have
There's
to
something to
work
look
on
for,
that.
but not against Brady usually.
Hey, I love those stats, man. Hey, thank you for that, Frank. I like that.
Digging deep right there. That's good stuff, man. And like I said, just make it 7. Obviously Tampa Bay's favored by 7.5.
Didn't I block you?
Something like, yeah, well, that's why I'm on the show now, because I can't talk in the chat anymore.
Right.
So that can't happen.
I'm sorry.
We haven't figured out how to fix that. If anybody knows how to fix that, let us know. Oh, my bad.
I'll work on that, guys.
Get some better facts. Those are the facts, though, man. I mean, we got to.
No, hey, he's just reading the facts. It's just like we say when we draft. We didn't draft the team. We're just grading it.
Yeah,
you guys got to go beat Brady.
Don't get mad.
You go beat Brady.
Bringing it up, right?
Dude has 7 rings. Not a lot of people really could say they got the best of them. So.
Yeah, that's the truth. Hey, but that's what I think's interesting about tomorrow. So we already know if there's a weakness in the Cowboys defense, if it's anything like it was last year, Brady's a perfect person to start off the season against because he's going to find that. With that being said, the Cowboys are going to have to sling the ball. So we know there's 3 receivers there, and I would say all of them in all the leagues that I've gone to, with Gallup kind of just being on the cusp right there, they've all been drafted. So these are three people that a lot of people are curious, like, is Gallup worth their start? Like, we know if you have CD, we know if you have Amari, if you have Zeke, you're going to start those guys. So just focusing on the Cowboys side, what do you guys think? Is Gallup worth starting?
I'm going to go with the no. I'm high on Gallup, but Tampa Bay's defense is the real deal. And then again, it could be one of those situations where they're covering CD and Cooper, and Gallup's the only guy open, and he actually gets, the catches because of, just by game script or whatever. You know what I mean? Just because of what happens during the game. But honestly, he's in WR3. This is not a good option for him, and I personally, I would sit him.
So just to clarify, you are obviously talking about this just this week. Do you think he's worth rostering, week. Frank?
Oh, for sure. I would definitely keep Gallup going forward. You don't know if anybody gets injured. And secondly, I think he's going to have a big year this year. He's on a contract year, and there's a lot of good talk about him this offseason in camp, of him playing the different positions, learning new route trees and things like that. Dak has a really good connection with them. All positive things. I just don't think this is the game. You know what I mean? And then again, we could see, him break out this game and be like, hey, this is what we want to see going forward, right? But it's one of those. I think is more of a daily fantasy play, where you put in Gallup and hope for a high floor, or whatever, that kind of type deal. But
good on
your regular
too.
season, regular team, best ball regular season. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to make a decision on that. And I think it's a sit for this week. But daily fantasy is, a sneaky start. Maybe he's a boomer bust guy for you.
Okay. Anthony, we hate getting your opinion on the Dallas Cowboys. So let's keep it under 5 seconds if you can.
They're going to lose. No.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. No, I just want to say, as far as that goes, obviously there is going to be, again, this is, to me, a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense. So it's kind of like, the Dallas defense isn't playing against Tom Brady. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not playing against Tampa Bay's defense. Like, it's not defense versus defense, even though they have that advantage. So at least your offense is going against Tampa Bay's considered their strength in their defense, right? So can they win those individual matchups? And to me, that's what I think it comes down to. Really, it's going to come down to that line. So I think the Zach Martin being out with COVID, and we saw that he tried to test today. He wasn't feeling it. So it wasn't even so much not even testing. He just still wasn't where he needed to be to play an NFL game. Meaning, he's still experiencing, symptoms and things like that. So there's no chance he's playing. So with that said, like, that's the problem. Like, we all saw what happened in the Super Bowl. That front four, that front seven total can put pressure on one of the greatest arm talents that we all pretty much agree with are kind of in the game right now, as far as what Mahomes can do. And we saw when his line was compromised what this defensive front can do, and they brought everybody back. So what do you think's going to happen? This is Dak's first game action that we're going to see that he's seen in almost over a year. He hasn't had anyone fall at his ankles. He hasn't had a defense come in to try to take his head off and welcome him back to the game. They're not going to take it easy on him because he's coming back. They're trying to go get themselves another Super Bowl. They tasted that championship, and it's opening night. Everybody's watching. And they're
Frank, didn't we tell this guy 5 seconds? It started off good. That was like the most respectful slap in the face I've ever heard. I was waiting for you to get to like how great Dak's going to be this year and all that kind of stuff.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's where I'm kind of getting at, right? So that's what's going to happen is we're going to see where he's at. And like you said, what better opportunity to have this right out of the gate, because it's going to show you exactly where you guys are and where you need to go from here. So to me, I'd rather play the Bucs the first game of the year and be like, all right, are we awake now? Like, this is what it's going to take if we want to, come back and play this team to get to the Super Bowl, because that's what it's going to take, right? So why not get that first taste now and then be ready to play them again when it matters, right? Because in all reality, this first game doesn't matter. Dak's, you guys can write this off. No one's expecting you to win, so you have nothing to lose. So come out and play. So showcase
No, I don't know
CD,
about nobody's
showcase
expecting you to
Cooper.
win. I don't know about that.
No one's expecting you guys to win, man.
Unfortunately, I kind of agree with that. I think it's going to be great for the Cowboys, Frank. As a fan, I think it's going to be great for us. Let Brady pick out our flaws, and then there's so many great guys that are still on, the NFL waiver wire that we could pick up. There's so many free agents and stuff out there. So if we already know as far as defense, it's going to be our line, it's going to be our defensive backs. Those are the two things that I'm primarily focused on watching. Obviously, it would be cool to see Micah playing the full game. You know what I mean? Like, we have the linebacking core if we use them right, but Brady's going to pick us apart.
I was going to say, can you guard their receivers? And that's where you guys are weak, is your secondary. Like, your linebackers are fine. Your guys' line is fine. I think you guys can easily contain Rojo and Fournette. That's not an issue. It's, can you guard Evans, Godwin, and Antonio Brown?
We got one of them. Hey, we'll get one of them for sure, bro. Hey, Trayvon Diggs is going to lock one guy down. So Anthony Brown, on the other hand, it gets a little slim pickings after that, too.
Right. You know what I mean? Just one-on-one battle in a phone booth.
Yeah, and that's just me being honest, man. I am a homer. I love the Cowboys just like Frank, right? I try to avoid us. I know that's not the best move. The last 2 years, I know how explosive our offense was going to be, so I had a great feeling about Dak last year. We all know that story. Enough about us. I'm just saying, if you have people on the Cowboys, I definitely wouldn't start them all because I think they're going to have to make moves, and that's even with Zeke. We're going to have to pass out of the backfield. We're going to have to do all that sort of stuff.
Since they're talking a lot of defense. Yes. And speaking of Zeke and the defenses, you guys, keep bringing it up here. Here's another fun little.
Let's go, Frank.
Tampa Bay has the fewest fantasy points to running backs for 2 straight years, averaging 2.5 yards per carry to running back. So
let's go.
If you're going to start Zeke with a grain of salt. It's not going to be the best of the game. Alvin Kamara last year, 12 carries, 16 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 18 carries, 59 yards. But both of those guys did score. So,
wow.
It's just going to be an ugly day. You'll probably get 10 to 15 points max out of. And yes, they got the passing yards. They scored and caught passes. So that's where they did open up against Tampa Bay's defense. So, there's some food for thought there as well.
But, the over-under is 51.5 points as of right now in this game. So it's not like it's this, Vegas is thinking that it's going to be, Tampa Bay shutting down, the Cowboys. That's not how this game is. That's not how this game is projected. It's going to be a back and forth game. These are 2 high-powered offenses. It's 2 high-powered offenses and 1 really good defense. So, we'll see.
Under.
We'll see what happens. I
know this is not a betting
historically.
Show. I'm taking the under.
I normally don't like starting the Thursday games. This one being the first game and the offenses that are there, I think that everybody's pretty a safe start. Again,
it's like you have caution.
To. You have caution on some of those. Yeah, but historically, I never liked the matchup. It's always been a blowout on Thursday night games.
You've
it's like
always
one team
said that.
Just dominating the other team. The other team's just there to take the beating, like literally. And there's nobody performs on one of the other teams. I think this is a good matchup. I got to look at the rest of the Thursday night lineups, but I think this is a good start. Hopefully, it continues the trend this year. And we got to, on a side note, we got to get rid of the Raiders having a Monday Night Football just open the season. That's a bunch of crap.
Agreed.
It's been like the last 3 years running or something like that. Come on now, nobody wants to see the Raiders.
Whoa, and we're not 100% Den boys. We agree. Let's hop into some of his questions.
Yeah,
no, but you're right, and
I wanted to get back to that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this has gone everywhere, and we had this conversation on Sleeper, so I'll kind of save my take. Frank, what do you think, CD or Amari? Let's just do the situation that you're sitting on both receivers.
I'm thinking Amari's still the number 1 till further notice. I think that CD's awesome talent. I think he's the talent is there. I mean, but Amari literally the other day tweeted or posted or said something like he's the best wide receiver in football right now. So he still has the mentality or the chip on his shoulder or the whatever you want to call it, the gusto to go out there and still be number one. And I don't see why he shouldn't be. He's been killing it with Dak. As soon as he got over here with the Cowboys, it's been like literally role reversal when he left the Raiders. It's a night and day. You know what I mean? Like literally night and day with Amari, and he's been killing it over here in Dallas. I don't see why that should stop. He's healthy. He's good.
For Raiders.
There's not a lot of talk about him, and everybody's really pumping up CD. And I don't down him for that, but I mean it's like a 1 and 2. If you're going to put them right next to each other, it's the same situation with Chris Godwin and Evans. They're literally at 1 and 2. That you know what I mean. The difference is so close that it's not, and especially in fantasy points, you're fine with either one. Like you know what I mean. Like I don't think you're going to take one over the other and be like, oh, I'm gaining 5 points because I got this guy over that guy. I think you're winning by 1 or 2 points. So I think the difference is too many.
It's going to change by the week.
Yeah. Mine goes Godwin, Evans, Lamb, and then Cooper.
We didn't even ask about the Bucs receivers right now.
No, I'm just saying.
The question is CD or Amari, yeah?
No, but I'm just saying it's like how he said that they're that close. I'm just saying
they're that close. It is that close though.
Because he mentioned the Bucs receivers too. Like he said, in comparison, they're like the same. I literally have all of them within 10 spots.
You just dropped down so low. You Godwin and then
Evans,
CD.
and Cooper. But I have Cooper at 19. But so to answer the question, I have CD at 15 and Cooper at 19. They have the quarterback.
Oh, you got a gap in there
to put them there. Yeah, so there's like a little gap right there in between. But I have Evans and CD Lamb 2 spots away from each other. Again, just because I feel that Brady Evans connection can still kind of be there. I know Dustin, you don't like Evans as much there, but I think CD has that potential. Yeah. I'm just saying.
I've shown the numbers for Evans too.
Yeah, you guys
they're a complete opposite.
Yeah, you guys are
10 games under 60 yards, Frank. Last year. That just means 11 games this year. He still does get his 1,000, man.
That's the
all his
definition
touchdowns
of
came
boomer
in the
bust.
last 5 games, and that's one thing I'll say about
and that's when you need them the most. The last 5 games, championships.
Hey,
hello.
Hey, they started slow. The Bucs typically do. I mean, even Brady. That's just a Brady thing. And I don't want to say they start slow, but like they really turn on at the end of the season. Even when they're slow, is better than most teams. Like fast. So.
Yeah, well, remember that slow start led to everything. Remember, they changed everything up after the bye week. They put motion into the offense. They let, they put a little bit of, Brady in there to let him, use his strengths. And they came out of that bye week and basically never looked back.
Oh yeah,
I agree with
what
you.
them boys is.
I was seeing
about. Should be a buy low.
Thought he had
People are going to
another
panic. I'm not in panic mode. I just want to bring that up because I have a lot of guys hurt. Things are happening. Guys are tweaking ankles or hammies in practice right now on me, and I'm like monitoring the health situations of my players, trying to decide who's going to start week 1. And I think that there will be, just like overreaction every year. It's one game. Don't overreact. Start your starters. Stick with your guys that you drafted. And if you can, trade for those guys, shoot, I'll go pick up some Zeke if they're available. If somebody's willing to trade, if they're not happy with them, I'll give them some other schmuck that's not going to do anything.
Wait.
Hopefully somebody goes off like a Geo and I can trade them off or something.
Yeah, I don't know about Geo. Hey,
I know, I'm just talking smack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think the overreaction is like the perfect time to just buy it, because a lot of it, like we talk about our draft, we do all this, but like what wins people championships, and we could all say this, staying on top of the waiver wire, staying on top of injuries, knowing when to get rid of your guys, when to trade for them, when to trade your own guys. And sometimes I'll take a 2-for-1. So, it's all kind of ways. So that's the part I'm most ready for. And this is just going to be the first stepping stone, like them boys said.
Yeah. Let me take the Underdog Best Ball logo off of there while we're talking about managing your teams.
Yeah, you can't do it there.
Can't do that. but yeah, no, I mean, this is, what we're looking for. So, a lot of things that, I've been kind of listening to, obviously today, is just hearing, who are we looking at as far as guys that we might be starting over these guys? I kind of want to bring it back to Zeke and what you said about, Tampa Bay holding, people like Kamara and McCaffrey to, less than 60 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So when you have a defense that's able to do that, okay, are they going to work them into the passing game, at that point? Because again, that's where those guys were able to actually still have a good game. So if you were going to sit Zeke, like who would you kind of sit Zeke for, based on a matchup this week? Who would you, start over Zeke possibly, if you had like that RB3, like what type of RB3 would you have to start over Zeke this week? Like, where do you draw that line?
Can I give you guys two names? And I just want to ask who you guys want to start. And actually, this was all right. I'll just give you the names: Swift and Gus Edwards. Are you guys going to play? Gus Edwards is playing against the Raiders. Could be a new Raiders team, though.
Well,
they added a lot of defensive people.
Swift is going against the Niners, so that's a big no there.
And coming off injury, too.
Yeah, and still dealing with that groin. So I'd say definitely no to Swift. I would consider possibly that's tough.
I have a tough one with Gus where I have a pretty strong team and I'm like, do I start Gus here? I think it's Gus and Robbie Anderson is what I'm kind of torn in between. And again, if Robbie Anderson and Gus are my two flexes, like I'm in a pretty good position right there. So it's a good problem to have, but
right. Well, and you got to remember, they have it's Taysom Williams is the only guy. He's known the offense for how long? So Gus, I think, is going to be by default. They're going to have to keep him in. Like, I don't think this rookie knows this many plays. This guy was like the fourth down back. Remember, they cut everybody. Like Ingram's gone, like, starting with Ingram, and then everyone down the hill from that, Justice Hill, obviously J.K. Dobbins. I mean, they're down to their fifth string running back. So we're picking him up, like thinking he's going to be a fantasy,
savior. He's up here. Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like nobody. Yeah. But I mean, because again, like Frank always says, volume, touches equals points and touchdown. Points equals wins or touchdowns or whatever however
that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Like
points, who cares?
Exactly. So, that's what we're talking about. So to me, like you kind of almost have to look at Gus Edwards as being a potential RB1 just based on volume alone. If we consider, Najee, if we consider Najee an RB1 just based on volume, because we're saying he's going to be a workhorse back, I mean, Gus Edwards should go maybe one spot ahead of Najee at least, right? Because at least he's proven he can do it in this league.
My only question is, how did I pick up Najee in the third round today?
Oh, today? That's tough. Yeah, no, that's tough for everybody else.
Hey, and my team name? I hope you're watching the Gross.
I mean, let's
no Romo
on the other side, because I mean,
sorry.
At this point, you drafted Zeke a lot higher or whatnot, so who could possibly be on your team? You could actually have the guys on the other side like Rojo or Leonard Fournette that were taken much later in the drafts, and they could be on your team as well. So would you start a Rojo or Leonard Fournette over Zeke?
No. I think you're right. I think that's a good point.
That's too far
you
down.
Put all
that's
your faith in your first and second pick into Zeke. You're going to run with them in most situations. But now if you're situational playing and you have a Gaskins, James Robinson, matchups, is that something that's going to affect you guys with Zeke? And specifically to use those two guys, is Gaskins or James Robinson, do you guys think either of them have a fighting chance? Najee can catch a football, though. Can Gus? And they got Bell. Oh, man, we got to throw these up. Gotta love it. Hey, all you people picking up Bell.
I'm still sticking with Tyson Williams, man, on that situation over there. Bell, I think Anthony just mentioned right before we went on air, Bell's just on the practice squad, right? Or something?
Yeah.
That's it.
Tyson Williams.
But it's like, hey, who did you drop? Todd Gurley to get Bell? What are you doing with Bell on your roster if you're already dropping people?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and again, so I went back to kind of look at, Gus Edwards, and the guy's had, between 130 and 145 attempts. He's been in basically the 720-yard range every year. He's averaging over 5 yards per attempt. 5.0 last year, and he finally got the uptick because he scored 6 times, which means is they're trusting him there in the red zone. So to me, again, can he, turn that, maybe if he can get 200, 250 carries, does that put him at the 1,200-yard mark or so? Maybe he can get 300 carries. I mean, does that put him at again, it is 17 games, so that might put him at, 1,400 yards. And if you double that at 12 touchdowns, I mean, that's RB1 kind of status there. So
I don't think so.
I'm just saying that's just, I mean, again, that's why I wasn't targeting J.K. Dobbins. But the reason I wasn't targeting Dobbins is because it was a split with Gus Edwards and how effective Edwards was. And it was clear that Edwards was going to have a role in this backfield. So that's why I couldn't fathom why people were taking J.K. Dobbins so high. It was just like a split, kind of like the Arizona and the Raiders backfield, But again, so now that he has this full role, I think he's definitely is one of those league winners. If you drafted him, that injury turned out to be huge,
especially at that value, man.
Yeah, and I think more so than the Darrell Henderson, because the Rams don't see Darrell Henderson in that light. Ooh, bless you.
Yeah, all I know is I came up with that Sony Michel pick. I'll tell you that.
Nah, that's nothing either.
He's starting.
But again, another split backfield. Like I'm not touching that Henderson backfield either. So I'm kind of glad I don't have that either.
Man, I got my only Darrell Henderson share today.
Oh, my bad. Well, then it was a good pick. No, it wasn't.
Eighth round.
You got him late.
Eighth round is pretty.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. Yeah, see, and that's see what them boys are saying. J-Rob versus Houston versus Zeke versus the Bucks. I mean, to me, that's almost a no-brainer. I'll take J-Rob there all day.
I'll take anybody over Houston. Basically,
that's what I'm saying. If they're playing against Houston, I'm taking it. They just keep trading all their good players away. They just trade away.
We're looking at players more in the area of like Miles Sanders, also, or David Montgomery. Would you play those guys over Zeke?
Who do you guys have? Who does David Montgomery play? I'll make that real easy.
Yeah, I have like every window open.
The Rams,
for the actual schedule,
which is a really good defense. And Miles Sanders is playing Atlanta.
Oh, I'll take. Yeah.
See.
Yeah. But I mean,
that is tough. The Rams
those are three guys that are all about. Yeah. And
the Rams,
but they're kryptonite.
I mean, I mean, they literally named Aaron Donald, I think, number 2. The overall
I like
top 100. You guys see the NFL top 100? He only came as number 2 behind. Yeah, he only came behind number 2 behind Mahomes this year.
Okay, so now that you say that, so
Zeke over both.
Anthony had brought up that Zach Martin's not playing tomorrow. So who I've seen that's playing in his place is Conor McGovern. And if you watch Hard Knocks, Conor McGovern's the one that threw Aaron Donald. Just toddlered this guy. Freaking just slammed him.
That's right.
So, I'm not completely mad about it. Like, we have a little more depth this year in our line. But again, obviously things can change. So.
Last year,
just ragdolled him. Sorry.
All we need is big guys, man. That's all it is. Still some big guys up on there.
Straight up. And
I would kind of consider that Sanders versus Atlanta, because we knew Atlanta wasn't great against the run last year.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I think Sanders is being undervalued.
Yeah, and I think Sanders is kind of, lost some of his value, especially now. They're coming out reports now saying that Boston Scott doesn't have as big of a role as initially thought, and it pretty much is Sanders' role. Yeah, they do want to spell him just to take, some, maybe some touches off of him just to make sure he's there through a full 17 games. And I think that's where Gainwell kind of comes in as a sneaky PPR play, because I think they will work him in as the season gets longer. But they're pretty much saying like they'd rather have Sanders on the field over Boston Scott. And if you remember in the very, very beginning of training camp, or I think the original OTAs, they were saying they didn't want like Sanders to come off the field or something like that. Remember, his draft stock was initially super high, and then all of a sudden they drafted Gainwell in the draft. Then there was all this hype about Boston Scott, and then they draft sign Kerryon Johnson and a couple other guys who have since been cut. But now it's
they muddled up that backfield really quick too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but now they have it pretty much. I think they have Amir Abdullah as well. So I think they basically cut it all down now, and it's just the three of them. And unless I'm thinking of a different backfield, yeah, I'm just unless I'm thinking of something.
Last
different,
I remember was Amir Abdullah was with the Lions, but
he's bounced around since then. Yeah, so I think
he's never been on a fantasy team, so it's not like I don't know his career.
It could be. I mean, both of those guys play for the Lions, so why would they both then go play over here too? So maybe I am kind of getting that mixed up. So someone correct me, but I know they had quite a few guys.
Dim Boys is on it.
Trimmed it out. Yeah, Dim Boys, get on that for us.
Notebook.
Write that down. And yeah, and again, this just shows you, man. Like, yeah, we pull up some stats here and there, man, but this is stuff we just come off the brain with, man. We're not sitting here like, scripting all this out, man. We're trying to pull this from the recesses of our craniums here.
Whoa, hey,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's a couple 5-point words right there.
Exactly. And now the ADD in me forgot what point I was even making. So
well, let's jump over. Let's jump to the other side, which we haven't done. Abdullah was with Minnesota last year,
okay,
I think.
Yeah, he was. Good call.
After Madison? That's interesting.
Yeah.
And Madison underperformed. But again, all right. We really ADD'd this one. All right, so we beat the Cowboys up. Jump into the other side of the ball because they have actually we have a few questions with them too. But there's a lot of close calls over there too. Like, are you on the Rojo train? Are you guys on the Fournette train? Are they both worth rostering? Or is it just the Rojo show? I'm somebody that okay, so he just verified that. I'm somebody that carried Fournette last year, but I have 0 shares of Fournette this year. So to me, he was a steal last year. I don't feel the same. What do you guys think?
I heard it's going to be a full-on triple backfield, and Gio's even going to be involved in third down plays or whatever.
2-minute offense
situations.
Did they get rid of Keyshawn Vaughn?
No, he's still there too.
He's still there too. So I'm thinking Rojo's getting the lead.
Only the 53,
and it'll be like last year where 1 week Rojo got the touchdown, and then they switch over and they start Rojo, switch over to Leonard Fournette, let him get the touchdown. Then the next week, the Leonard Fournette start the game, and then Rojo finishes off and gets the touchdown, and then you're going to be like scratching your head figuring out who to start. I don't want to touch either one of them. I like the guys, but it's just until somebody actually goes down or something happens, like, I'm not touching any of that.
But you like Gio. I know it's a late, like you liked Gio last year too, and you were right on Gio.
He's just a waiver wire pickup. He's just a waiver wire pickup, man. When somebody goes down, he's the guy. He's got 2-3 good games in him. Beyond that, let him go. Start him.
Start at showing risk.
Start him, trade him, and then go. You know what I mean? Like literally get that one good game out of him and be like, look, he's going to be the next starting guy or having this, position, and trade him away to somebody who, tired of Zeke or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we had that 20-point gentleman's bet in that one game, and he got like 18.5, and I was like, all right, I can't even take $1 away from you because of that.
I remember him.
That was way too close. Yeah, that was way too close. Like I couldn't take your money. Like you called that.
Frank has some overconfident moments. Like 15 would have been a good number to leave it at, but he was
he was like 20.
Damn sure right.
Yeah, $1 right now. Gentleman's bet. Like take it all day on his guy. So
I can't.
I do pick him. I do pick him here and there, man. Daily fantasy is working for me. Speaking of that guy, I want to give props and shout out to Anthony. You had an OJ Howard sighting earlier. You mentioned him. I'm going to mention him again.
Specify.
Which OJ, right? OJ Howard.
Keep that on the down low, yeah.
I'm glad he's still here.
Me and the juice are hanging out
here. Go flip.
You must have blown up his spot out here in Palm Springs, man.
But yeah, there's just a lot of chatter. Brady's been pumping him up. A lot of the beat writers have been talking about OJ Howard having a good connection, and Brady just talking about it. But at the end of the day, we all know it's really the Gronk show. He's not going to go away from Gronk. But I think he's a daily fantasy start. If you need that, like, spend your money elsewhere and just pick up an OJ Howard for a boom or bust situation or something like that. But I still think you probably even just slide in Gronk because most of the time they have him so low. He's only good for standard. I wouldn't start Gronk in PPR or anything like that anymore. He just doesn't get the looks anymore. But he'll get that occasional 50-yard touchdown or something out of nowhere.
I want to believe you, Frank. I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. I just was on the OJ Howard hype for so long, and I think you kind of said it best. Like, we could talk about on both sides of the ball. Like, there's so many people. So the Cowboys are going to be losing. They're going to have to throw the ball, like, in certain situations. I think they're actually going to have a really good record this year. Non-biased, obviously. The Buccaneers probably going to run through a lot of people.
So who would you take over, Blake Jarwin or Gronk or OJ?
I would play Blake Jarwin over both of them. The only reason why is because now we're talking about 5 different receivers and 3 running backs on their offense, and Brady is just like Breeze, like 12 different targeted receivers during the game. Like, that's the kind of stuff I don't hang my hat on. It's that.
They'll give everybody
a piece
of the ball, right?
With McVay. Yeah, so if I can avoid them, like, I know the draft's over and now we're just to the point, like, we have to talk about these people. Mike Evans is an awesome receiver. Chris Godwin is super talented. AB is one of the best receivers of our lifetime. But it's like, yeah, we can't feed all these guys. So you're right. In best ball, like, if you just went with all Tampa Bay receivers, like, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Someone's going to eat,
Yeah.
Like, get the best guy out of the week. That's actually the best situation. Start stacking. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna do another draft. I need to get another one in there.
Hey, that's a good point, Tim boys. That's a Michael.
No,
to me, that reminds me of Michael Gallup.
But, we put that up while you were talking. But
it's so inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
Like, no, you're good.
That's all good. It doesn't matter. We were talking about it right now. Like, it's so inconsistent that you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to start this guy and rock with him, all year long. It's more game situational or something like that. Or he just happens to be the guy that you have to start that week and he does good for you. I don't feel comfortable starting Gronk every week.
Yeah, but you're right. As a good waiver wire, I picked Gronk up a lot of times, and I've had OJ Howard. I've drafted him, and he's going to be the guy and all that kind of shit. It gets old.
He's still only 25 years old.
OJ? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have him in Dynasty.
Age don't mean
shit. That's why I like him. Yeah, that's why I like him.
Age don't mean shit right now.
He has a chance. I
mean
the best
more for tight
ends in the
ends.
game right now are like 28, 29. Like, that's when you become
that guy
a tight end.
You say he's 25 years old.
That's
Brady's
your tight
been in
end
the
prime
league
right there.
21 years now. So that means Brady started the NFL career when OJ Howard's 4 years old. Just want to mention that.
5 years old, yeah.
Wow.
Wow. He was already in the NFL, and OJ Howard was 4 years old.
This guy's throwing passes to a 4-year-old.
Maybe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, Doc.
Can you imagine just Brady out there scouting the kindergarten field? Like, I'm going to be playing with you in 20 years. You better work
That's
on
what
that
Shane does. Right Shane is doing video breakdowns of.
Shout out to at Shane P. Halam on Twitter. Shout out.
Hey,
Shane.
follow him if you don't already.
Yeah.
I make it as a joke, Frank, but he already has high school scouting reports. Like, he's on it. Like, he's on freshmen in college. Like, he can break down what the future of the NFL is going to look like today. So,
wow,
I think it's pretty awesome. That's why I kind of make jokes on it right now. Like, this guy nobody gets by him.
Yeah. Yep. Check out our episode.
I knew about that guy when he was in high school, junior high even.
Go look in the feed. Yeah, he already knows about these guys. And that's why I wanted to have him on the show, because he's telling me about J.K. Dobbins and all these guys that he's drafting super late. And that's why he never made like any of our, final drafts. He only made a couple just because he has kind of a different logic in thinking that we do. But I needed to get inside that brain because maybe he knows something about these things that we need to learn. So, shout out to Shane, man.
That sounds like Dynasty League stuff to
get him on again.
You know what I mean? It
is. It's a Devi League. That's Devi. When you're talking high school and early college kids, you're literally drafting them like on how we have our taxi squad. You're drafting them as on a Devi team. Like you got them in high school. That's like drafting my kid right now.
Games.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no doubt about that. I see I wouldn't call it what is that, TikTok or whatever. They're
Did you put
little
that
shorts
up there?
and reels. Yeah, I put that one up. And then
Shout out, Shane.
I've seen reels. I forget the name of the kid. Oh man, I wish I could remember. I was, I'm really bad with names. But this dude's blowing it up
we
already
know.
in TV football. I forgot the dude's
Dude,
name, man. So God, I'm gonna bring up the video next time. I'll bring a couple highlight videos of
check
this
the
kid
chat.
running circles around people. I'm sure that this is be one of those kids that is getting drafted early like this right now. He's already projected to be
Shane knows
obviously
his
in the
name.
NFL.
Yeah, we'll get.
Right?
Don't
Oh,
even
I'm sure
Google
Shane
it. Just
does.
ask
That's
Shane.
what I'm saying. I've seen a
Just send
couple
him the
highlight
clip and
reels
be
on
like,
this
"Hey, what's
kid, and
this
it's been
guy's
like
name?"
crazy.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm like, I got him.
I think he's
already
number
got
50.
70. Already got 7 shares of him already.
But I'll say that I know we're getting really
we're
deep
way
into the
off
show.
now. Yeah.
But I want to say that's kind of cool stuff in fantasy football, and a lot of these guys have opened my eyes to a lot of new stuff too. Even them boys who were talking about it, like these zombie leagues, and there's so many different things, the Devi leagues, and there's leagues where people pick college players. Like I'm gonna pick 1 to 2 college players. Like there's so many different things in fantasy football. Everybody open up. So I'm in a lot of leagues. I'm in over 10 leagues. Been that way for years and years and years. I have some standards, some keepers, and all this. But like I've learned so much in so many different ways. Like on top of the basic, just dynasty and all that. So everybody spread your wings. Super awesome. So much cool shit to do out there. But we're completely off topic. So
Yeah.
where we were is talking
Tampa
about
Bay.
Tampa.
That's why we got out of it.
AKA, you just missed it. We were just talking great about you. AKA, we'll
I
ask
just got
you
done
this
watching
question.
his show before I came on here. He had this dude Chris on there, talking about his DFS plays and stuff like that. So it was a really good show, man. It's an awesome show. I followed
You
him
gotta
on
love
Twitter.
DFS. Should I trade? All
question
right,
for
let's
you
go.
guys.
Live question.
Hey,
Andrew, should I trade DeAndre Swift and AJ Dillon for James Robinson? Right when AKA
PPR?
comes in?
ooh, he's bringing all the people. Look at everyone's here now.
Dang, he brought everybody.
Yeah, so we'll go back to. Oh, go ahead.
They must have got off the chat right now or something, right?
They're all
So we're
popping
looking
up.
trade for DeAndre Swift and AJ Dillon for James
I
Robinson.
personally would say yes. Give me only because of James Robinson, and I'm getting the AJ Dillon side. I'd rather take the 2 guys and then maybe flip Dillon to the Aaron Jones owner. Again, I'm not that big on Swift this year. I know a lot of the people in the Get Right community are, and I know I'm going to break AKA's heart here, kind of saying that, and I know he's going to give me shit for it. But I'm just, I got to see it. I'll be the first one to sit here and say I was wrong. But I just, I am not feeling DeAndre Swift, especially with this groin injury. Those things linger, man. And I don't want
DeAndre Swift
too much
was
to do with
it. Full participant in practice on Wednesday.
Yeah, of course he is. Again, and it could all been BS coming out of training cup, but it is what it is.
I don't know if this even needs to be said, but I'm drafting DeAndre Swift over James Robinson.
See, I told you.
Hey, we'll get there because we have a lot of questions that just came in. But I'm drafting DeAndre Swift over James Robinson. Depending on the depth of your bench, AJ Dillon, I wanted to keep him, but I had a league today that I had to drop him just because that's how the cookie crumbles. I didn't have enough people. But yeah. So Frank, I guess it's up
I'm
to
with
you.
James Robinson. I'm with James Robinson. Get James Robinson. I like DeAndre Swift, but I like James Robinson more.
I love James Robinson, so I'm not mad. I'm late, but all I know about this game is don't read that. Shout out to Joker Chevelle. Pick the over for Dak, Zeke, and Cooper. Hope Dak can keep it close. He's Cowboys by 50. It was a DFS episode, so I don't know if the hell's watching Washington. Do not trade Swift for Robin. I'm sorry, I'm a little ahead. But yeah, we got a couple I'm so glad AKA came in right in.
Yeah, see,
we did talk about Swift.
And again, full disclosure, we're gonna tell you how we feel. And again, we may be wrong, we may be right. See, he's saying that's terrible.
We helped him out. We're like a full-on even split. We're like James Robinson over here, and you got the
and then half the other side,
and Dustin.
And that's how it is, man.
Swift. So
I still
think Robinson.
It's something about Georgia running backs, man.
Not gonna.
Yeah. I know first week's going to be a little different. So I think that's another person, like we were talking about with Zeke. If they have a rough week, that's somebody you want to go out and trade for. I think Swift kind of has that same thing over him. Maybe they do put him on a snap count, stuff like that, even though they don't have a lot going on over there. And I admitted to AK yesterday, like I watched Swift all through college. They had one of the greatest, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. They had the greatest college football running back. I don't know. Is tandem just two people? Like I'm talking about, they had they had Chubb, Gurley, Swift. They're stacked over there.
Right.
But yeah, so I've been huge on him. Let's see if he can do it. I feel bad that it's over there with Goff. I'm just ready for week one. I'm so ready.
This is what Tycoon's saying, and it's like, again, I can play devil's advocate. He's saying, because he's the receiving running back, it is check down Goff. This was, he's saying he has a chance to be what, Gurley circa 2017. There is that potential there because all those dump off passes, but will their offense even be good enough to even facilitate that? So again, we'll see. I'm just, he's just one of the guys that he doesn't fall in my range where he's at. But again, I'm not going to lie. I do have him in a couple best ball leagues. So, I still got a couple. You got to diversify a little bit. I'm not saying it's always there.
He's pissed over this conversation, period.
Oh, no, of course he is. I'm sure he's sending me on my direct chat too. Like, what kind of information are you feeding your people?
Hey, death threats. Hey, there's death threats coming in right now.
Yeah. He's like, get off these guys' show. Go check out the fantasy boardroom. Shout out.
All right. Hey, so let me ask you guys this. Lions have 44 touchdowns last season.
Yeah, that was with Stafford, not Goff. Goff got me 4 points in a game one time. I will not touch him. As a quarterback, right? Not touching him. Yeah, that's why
he's going to break this down. All right, we're going to follow. Hey, we're going to follow the thread. So let me ask you two guys. Let's put these names together. Swift or Edwards?
Edwards.
Who you starting this week? Damn.
Edwards.
Hey, Tycoon's going to hate you guys. All right. So this one came in from 7 ranks. This is a little older.
San Francisco D.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd rather have the guy that's playing Las Vegas defensive versus the San Francisco defense. It's literally that. That's the decision that I'm making, not the guy. Really, it's that match.
Quinn says Cephas. And Amon-Ra St. Brown. And TJ Hawkinson. That's why he's drafted as TE5. No, hey, but again, it may be there.
St.
But
Brown's
again,
brother plays.
How many touchdowns did the Rams score last year with Goff? He said LMAO Cephas. I knew you'd like that one. Tycoon, tell me, how many touchdowns did the Rams score last year? They had to be up there because we all like Bobby Trees and Cup and all them with Goff.
Not all of us. I have 0 shares of either of them. I'll take a third quarterback before I get them.
I think I have a share.
I think I picked one. Yeah,
in a one.
I think I picked 1 or 2 up somewhere.
I'm dead ass serious.
I'm sure it's somewhere that I got.
I love Bobby Trees, man.
I do too, man. But they just burn me. They're like that Kamara to me. Whenever I play him, he does shitty. If you sit him, he goes off. Obviously, I'm not sitting Kamara, but like Bobby Trees and Cooper Kupp. If I'm drafting one, the other one's going off, and vice versa. And then you can't trade them. There's no value. So, and that stuff's going to change, even though Stafford's going to ball out. You know how you just have those guys like, you with Matt Ryan. Like Matt Ryan obviously throws for 4,500 yards every year. But when you start him, 3 points.
Literally.
Right?
Like 8, 9 points, like single digits with your quarterback. If you even have a floor of single digits as a quarterback, I'm not touching. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel with Mike Evans. This guy's freaking catching for 30 yards half of the time. Like, I won't beat up Mike Evans. All right, couple more questions, and then let's kind of, I don't want to say wrap it up, but we'll open it up to questions if we get any more. Here's a few more old ones that are on here. So,
did we get to this? He said this. He said Hawk for 10, Swift for at least 10, and then the scraps for the others. You count Jamal Williams in the scraps there. Says he hates starting Ryan outside of Superflex. All right. Well, at least we agree there.
Hey, Williams has great trade value right now for people that are reading projections, stuff like that. Like, he's up there. The fact is, nobody knows what the Lions are going to do, not even the Lions. So
exactly.
Let's wait and see how they blow it this year.
True that.
So 7 Rings had a question in a half PPR. Who are you starting? You guys going with Gallman, Stevenson, Tyson Williams? I feel like I always break down
starting. I think he said just to like
Williams.
Yeah,
keep on
it's
your
not
team.
like to start. Yeah, it's just who do you want to roster? Not like start this week.
Got you.
Who do you want to roster? So it's
Gallman.
So obviously Gallman went to Atlanta, and then
He's
the
number 2.
Ramondre Stevenson,
the number 2 behind Williams. Well, 3 if you want to say he's behind White as well.
James White,
because they cut freaking Quadre Allison.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going with
and Javian Hawkins. Yeah, and they cut Hawkins too. I say Williams. I go Williams. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, there's literally anything. I'll take it. Yeah, agreed. No, totally agreed there. I'm just saying he's a nice backup.
He's the next Megatron.
Does
stay focused, Anthony.
But anyway, so Williams, Gallman, and then whoever the other guy was.
Stevenson. He just had an amazing preseason with
it was
Patriots, who I don't trust at all.
Against like a 4th string defense in the NFL.
He did more than that, but yeah, I got you.
It was more than that. And it was multiple
New England.
Games.
It's a New England running back with Bill Belichick.
Oh, get him, Frank.
Get out of here.
Well, I wouldn't touch him. I am agreeing with some of it, but I'm disagreeing with the fact that the guy, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the middle on that one. I like him. I really think Stevenson's going to be somebody. I don't think that's going to be this year, or it will be with the Patriots because, as we all know, they're going to be RB, running back by committee, for sure. If history repeats itself, and if we know him, anything that goes on with the Patriots is always going to be like that. And that's why I think Williams is the best guy to have a shot at having some fantasy relevance this year. Behind Gus Edwards, I know they just picked up Bell, but that's the situation that's going on over there in Baltimore. And from all the reports, he's the better back. I think he's a better back than Gus Edwards, and I think we're going to see that soon enough.
You think Williams is a better back than Gus Edwards?
Yeah, we're going to see that soon enough. You'll see.
Ooh, yeah. Nice call.
Do we have a gentleman's bet?
And Wayne Gallman just done and has been, dude. Yeah,
you like think Gus Edwards is done? No, I was just saying how good he was. I mean, my man's running for over 5 point yards.
I'm not saying Gus Edwards is done. I'm not saying he's done. I'm just saying Williams is better. I'm not saying he's done.
That's a crazy call right there. I like that. That's hot fire. He's spitting fire here.
I'm calling crazy until the season's over.
No, I'm just saying you heard it here first. There we go.
He's saying Williams is not better than Gus. Well, that's wait to be seen, right?
Like that's fire.
Hey, mark it. Dim boys. Hey, notebook, put it in.
Right?
I'm a BYU fan.
Yeah, write it down.
Gus is legit. Hey, I have teams where I finished the year last year with Gus.
Man. Yeah. 5 yards per attempt, man. That's.
I'm not saying you're right or wrong, man. We're gonna find out. That's what I love about it being week 1 and our minds are everywhere.
Take, man. We're gonna find out.
To be honest, we don't know. Hey, we're going off these stats and stuff, but everybody's wrong. Brady got picked in the 7th round, whatever it is. Like, there's no way you can think we're gonna be right on every single pick. That's why I love it. Be bold, man. So let's jump. McGoats had a crazy question for us.
What's the question? I love these questions.
He said, "Am I crazy if I want to start Kirk over Dak?"
Yeah, you're crazy.
I'm not
even bother with the second thought of that. You're crazy.
No explanation needed.
Even with the bad matchup that he has, I mean, it only lends to the fact that he's going to have to throw more, and more yardage means more points. And we've already seen what Dak did. Yeah, more yardage means
touches equals yards, yardage equals points, points equals
points. That's all it is. I mean, it's literally simple math. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Simple.
So at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen what he was doing last year in the 5-game sample size that we had. with Dak with a bad defense and had to carry the team, and he was doing so, and he was doing it with the spectacular fashion. I think he had 3 games with 500 or more yards, first time in NFL history. And I'm not saying he's going to have 500-yard games every week or anything like that, but I think that obviously with a bad matchup, Tampa Bay's defense being so what it is, you got to start Dak.
Trash.
You start your starters. Dak got drafted a much higher than Tannehill for a reason. I mean, and that's
Kirk.
Tannehill's
Kirk
Cousins, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Tannehill, Kirk Cousins.
Don't
I mean,
put them
literally
on the same
anybody
level.
below the top 9, you would. Why would you even consider it?
There's only
They're all
4
the same.
people I'm starting over Dak.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, that's
literally, I could
I'm
already
not arguing
name
that.
off.
Like barely 4. It'd be hard to name 4.
Yeah. I'm serious. Even this week. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even think about it.
Oh, see,
All
you
right,
said way
so-
greater than. I had to ask
Of
him because I don't want
course.
to interrupt you guys. I
No,
love
of
it, man.
course.
Doesn't he have a gentleman's bet, I think, already with Frank about Swift? I think they keep making the same gentleman's bet like every week.
Always taking
Put up
out
to like
everyone over.
$10.
I can't wait till
Up
that
to
guy
like
full on
7 gentleman's
goes
bets.
in one game, full on pulls that hammy, and done for the year.
I'm just saying volume, man. Volume.
I
again,
bought into the.
he is still the
Swift hype,
RB2
so-
on his team. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I got to see it. Like I said, I'll shout it from the rooftops that I was wrong.
No, but
about
we were
Swift,
talking
and
about RB2s and
I'll come on.
RB3s
I'll come
those
on your
teams
show,
anyway, so we-
Tycoon, and let me have it. And
Yeah.
you can come on my show and let me have
I
it.
went in too. I went in. Hey, if we're gonna
But
yell
we
at
were-
Ant.
but we
like,
were talking-
freaking sign me
But
up.
when we were talking about Williams, we were talking about Wayne Gallman and Stevenson. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are the
yeah,
other
yeah.
people
True.
that were involved
We're
in
way-
that thought.
hey.
And that's why.
We way ADD'd that whole thing.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
that's where
But
I'm
you're
at.
right.
What do we got?
All right. So barring any other questions from the chat, we do have one more, and they were just saying, which side would you rather be on? Or and Frank, I can kind of guess your side. Well, actually, this might be a little tough. Allen Robinson and Miles Sanders, or Chris Carson and Amari Cooper.
I'm all for it. You're gonna have to repeat the question.
I know. Pay attention.
I know what
All
I know what I'm taking.
Go ahead, you answer, and then maybe I'll know what the question
No,
was.
no,
based
no.
on
Go
your
ahead,
answer.
repeat it. So
Allen.
we can do it again.
I'll just guess. I'll just guess what the question is, and I'll just give my take.
Just gonna guess the complete opposite of whatever you say.
Matter of fact, you can go first.
Allen Robinson and Miles Sanders, or Chris Carson and Amari Cooper.
I'll take Carson and Cooper.
This guy. Hey,
Was that an option? That was an option.
it was
right?
like 2 and 2. So you can just say an Amari Cooper side. Like it's Allen Robinson and Miles
Well,
Sanders,
it was Sanders.
or it's 2 and 2.
2 and 2, right?
All right,
Sanders-
one more time.
No, Sanders
Hey,
and
one more
A-Rob.
time, big guy.
Sanders and A-Rob versus Carson
Or
and
Amari.
Amari Cooper. So I'll take the Carson and Cooper side.
Frank?
Injuries not being a factor, I'll take the Carson and Cooper side.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go with my man Robinson.
Oh, see, we're split here. Look at
I see. That's who I thought
Sanders?
you were gonna take, Frank.
and Carson and Cooper. Let's go.
Oh, we're split. Hey, we're
Ooh,
splitting
it's
the
split all- hey, you're
chat.
You're deciding factor. Where you at, Dustin?
I am. Oh man,
That's
I
it.
wasn't
That's 2 on
expecting-
2. That's 2 on 2 right now.
I'm taking Carson and Cooper easily.
Ooh.
Not that I don't love the other two, but man, to me it's like close, but not even close at the same time. Yeah, I mean injury, Andrew. I definitely think that could be a factor. But if we weren't factoring in injuries, right? Because you're right. If you're going Chris Carson and Amari Cooper, that's definitely on both sides. It's injuries that happen there. Amari's hurt right now. He's not even doing nothing. He's laying in bed. He's hurt.
He's already hurt.
Allen
I like
Robinson,
Andrew's
I
take.
really
I like
He
Andrew's
was
take.
born hurt.
Isn't Swift going to lose his share of his job with Jamal Williams and he's got a unity? What is that? He's got a unity. What does that mean?
Andrew, if you could clarify. Injury.
Yeah.
Oh, injury.
I think
okay, that's
I
what
think a lot of people are leaning that way too. Jamal Williams, I'm seeing taken in a lot of leagues. He's one of those people. I don't know. Well, I know you guys feel the same way. When a draft ends and I have 10 people in my queue, and I'm like, damn, Dimboy's going to break it down. I guess I'll just pass the mic. Somebody read it out. Not going to be me.
Carson is not the injury issue. Go ahead.
No,
he said it's not going to be me, and then starts.
Carson is not the injury issue. Everyone tries to say he's only started one less game than Aaron Jones in the last 3 years, but no one says shit about him having the injury issues. Boom.
Microphone.
Mic drop. Oh, he's still going. Oh, no, there it is.
Break him.
And Williams will get his touches, but Swift is the receiving back and will get the goal line back. See, I consider even Williams more so too also as the receiving back. It's like they have 2 receiving backs. Because that's
Swift was starting over everybody.
He will get
I go back to college. I go back to college all the time.
I
start over Chubb, all these guys.
But he does agree Carson is underrated. So at least we agree there. We I don't know what word that was, but at least we agree there. Too much red cup. You guys been seeing me. It's empty again now, so we got to refill.
Do the song again, Frank.
I'm out of
ice. Hey,
that's all I know, man. It's just a chorus.
I'll lift you up. All right, sorry, we're gonna get sued for that. All right, so last thing, I guess, unless we'll stay on with the chat, all that kind of stuff. Unless you guys have anything else to go, I do want to say there's a lot of people that did not practice. Eckler, Godwin, Curtis Samuel, AJ Brown. We know Swift is playing, all that kind of stuff. So don't look too much into that, right? Sometimes they're going to sit there, guys. We know you're starting, like AJ Brown, you're not going anywhere. All these guys, like, I'm not worried about any of them. Eckler, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like the Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott effect. Yeah.
As long as they're healthy, start them. There's a lot of drama in the offseason. These are the real injury reports starting to come out now.
What about my Russ or Tanny question? Oh,
what's up?
Hey, I tried to look for that, and I felt like it was missing off the chat.
Hit us with it
so
right now.
I did have that earlier.
Stay on for you. We know there's a little delay, but...
So are you saying who do you roster or who do you start? Because I got to look at schedules.
Everybody's like checking schedules real quick.
Oh, yeah, there's a little lag. So...
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, well...
Everybody goes straight to the...
We're getting all of our stuff ready. Like, all right, here we go.
Well, you guys are going to be the ones to break down. Tanny for week 1. Okay, so seems like we're going for week 1, guys. And the question on the table is Ryan Tannehill. I almost said Russell Westbrook. Russell Wilson. Wrong season, guys. I'm
Lakers
transitioning.
Are on your mind.
I hate the Lakers. I hate the Lakers more than I hate this. I can't say Steelers. Like, for sure, Giants, Eagles, all them.
That's where after football talks always end up at basketball.
I'm like mad just thinking about it.
They always end up there, yeah.
Stack Tanny with Arthur Warren Brown versus AZ. Oh, we got a couple more questions coming in. Let's go. Let's get it, guys. All right. So, first question. Russ or Tanny? Who you guys starting week 1?
Tycoon says Tanny week 1 easy. And just so we know, we have the
Titans at Cardinals. Right? So Tannehill is going to be playing the Cardinals. Or
Seahawks
we have
at the
Colts. Seahawks and the Colts.
Colts have pretty good defense, as we know, but I would say yes. I want to see Tannehill with those 2 weapons. I think they're going to showcase their new weapons there.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tannehill also.
And Derrick Henry's going to score too, so should be a good game.
Man, I can't agree with you guys. So I'm just going to say Russ. Nice. He starts off strong. Obviously, he started off really strong last year, and then he fades away. So I'm not saying that's going to happen every time, but I can't agree with you guys. I can't bring myself to do that.
If history repeats itself, we're going to see some more, right?
Exactly.
Yep, that's basically what we were saying too. He might even.
He's going to shock the world. So Swift over
James Robinson. He's not even asking us now. He's asking Tycoon. He's like, hey, like, forget these guys. I want to know what you're trying to say again about this Swift thing. Yeah, and he's definitely going to say Swift over Robinson for sure.
I would too. Like, and so for having him for the season, and I really like James Robinson.
Yeah,
but I just got sold. So stacked. All right, here's our next question, guys. Are you stacking Tannehill with Arthur Juan Brown, or versus Arizona, or are you starting Russ versus Indy? I think that's a lopsided question because I'm going to go Tannehill on that one.
Oh yeah, that's the same question.
Yeah. Easily, Andrew. It's not
That's what we just said.
This dude is going to die on this hill. Get the next one, yeah. Throw that chat on there. And we're done. That's all I needed right there.
In the show on that, huh?
Somebody,
J-Rob.
hold on. Let me screenshot this.
My
first.
Take that off of there.
Hey, my first ever compliment. I wake up in the middle of the night, read the chats. Hey, my guy's attacking me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
You're gonna have to use that as your positive affirmation.
It has to be Tanny. No.
I'm gonna read that in the morning. I'm gonna send it out. That's gonna be my Abby tomorrow.
There it is. I agree.
We agree on
definitely start Tannehill. Yeah, we all agree on Tannehill.
Yeah, we agree on Tannehill. Yeah.
I said
we're definitely split on the Swift and Robinson.
Oh, except for Dustin, he said Russ because he just doesn't want to agree with us. And Russ is MVP.
No, and I think he has a good point, honestly.
And they're gonna let Russ cook.
I just don't like these guys.
He changed Frank's mind, so it's 2-2 again.
No, I'm not going with Russ. No, I'm not going with Russ.
It's too late. Too late. Cut. Hey, Jamie.
The show.
Cut the show.
Right there.
Hey,
right,
so
man.
That's it, boys.
Hey, I have to
wait
get
for
another
more.
trade in tonight, man. Somebody send me an offer. Like I got to get a trade in before.
I'm not allowed to.
The first game of the season. Yeah, we're not allowed to trade.
If Ethan's watching, we're not allowed to trade.
I'll wait until the season starts.
We know, Frank.
Trade me tomorrow. Trade me tomorrow.
I was the only one. I was the only one that was almost close to trading Frank, and I blew it.
I know.
I'm just happy that I actually held out this whole time, dude. You guys are like trade happy.
Yeah, what was it? We were at 80.
I've been holding out 33 years, dude.
We were
Ooh, let's cut the show.
Dude, make up your damn mind now already.
Well, hold on. We got one more question on the way out. Start 2.
All right.
Swift, Chenault, Gaskins, or Galladay?
He's not. He's asking the boardroom.
No, he didn't say at boardroom
Swift,
this time.
Chenault. Oh, that's an easy ass one for me. I'm Swift and Gaskins all day, baby. I'm running backs all day over receivers, so that's even
in a PPR.
In a PPR, in a 2-point PPR. People are buying into Chenault for
Kenny Galladay's got a hamstring thing.
I like. Yeah, I mean, he
was limited on practice Wednesday. He may not even play, so I'm not going to go with Galladay any day. And I'm with Dustin on this one. I'd take the 2 running backs.
Swift and Gaskin all day. You don't even know why you like Chenault. Nobody does. They just like him. That's the only problem.
No, because they have to guard Jones and Chark on the outside, and I think Chenault is just going to eat up underneath. And
so why is Gallup not doing the same thing? Are you that high on Gallup as you are on
Gallup
Chenault?
Is a deep threat, isn't he? Out of the slot? Doesn't he go deep out of the slot?
Well, with that,
different spots.
It's a different thing. Like Chenault to me is almost like a very, very, and again, don't get me wrong, but he's like a very, very poor man's Tyreek Hill. Prior to Tyreek being like Tyreek, I meant like early young Tyreek, where they used
not even on his team.
What are you saying?
Not even on his team.
No, I'm not saying he's the number.
On his team.
No, I'm saying early Tyreek before Tyreek was developed as a receiver. Remember when he was just more of a return guy?
So
a
McCole
maybe
Hardman?
I should say more like a Tavon Austin. Like he's more like a Tavon Austin, but I think he's a little better than Tavon Austin. So that's why I say he's like a very, very poor man's.
In the pros,
that sounds like a lot weaker than having Swift or Gaskin. Like you're hoping for points there. Sounds like, to me. Like you're begging, you're reaching to why justify.
They're going to be throwing a lot. They're going to be throwing a lot. Gaskins is playing against New England this week. That's a great defense that they're playing against, and it's going to be tough for them. That's going to be a very low scoring game with those two defenses. So I'd rather target the Jacksonville Houston game or whatever it is. That's going to be like points on points on points. So again, that's just me. And again,
I'm saying
Swift is going against. Swift is going. Well, he's saying.
I think they might. They might.
He's talking this week.
Swift,
he's talking this week.
Swift.
We're going to look at Chenault and Gaskin after the end of the week. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, look at you guys are all against me here. Let's go. Yeah, see, he goes deep.
We're checking next.
You're drinking Twitter juice. When I hear that,
I don't even read anything on Twitter.
Hey, Laviska,
you know I was big on Laviska last year. We both had him last year. So
I
don't.
was
I'm
big
not
on
one of these
Travis
people that's.
Fulgham. I was big on Travis
Well,
Fulgham.
calm down,
and he's
calm
not
down,
even on
calm
the
down.
team.
I drafted him this year, so I'm.
I
telling
named
you.
my team
Oh,
after
snap.
him for a couple
But that's
weeks.
what I'm saying. Like, so that's what I'm saying is I'm
Shit
not jumping on the
happens. Things
bandwagon or
change quick.
drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm saying
Yeah, I
he's
like his
more
team
Kool-Aid
name, by the
talented
drinking.
than what he was last year. So anyway,
I think he is
All
too.
right, hey,
How are you gonna go with
before we,
a
and
WR3
I guess I'm
over
saying
a starting
Gaskin,
running
so I
RB1?
apologize.
You're literally
Gaskin,
picking a wide receiver 3 or an
not
RB over an
Gaskins.
RB1, right? That's what you're saying.
He's not an RB1, RB2, but yes,
who's not an RB1?
Gaskin.
Swift?
Gaskin.
Gaskin?
Gaskin's not an RB1.
We don't know what to say now with that. Is it Gaskins?
He said
Gaskin.
That's why I was clear. I said Gaskin. I made
Who
sure I was clear
cares?
that time.
Hey, who
Hey,
cares?
Tycoon, that's just a slur from the Red Cup, my guy. That's not even an S there. That's just the slur.
That's just the slow.
Was that Notebook or was that AKA?
Put that in there. They both were. They both were
I got on
correcting
there.
me. They were having enough of it. They didn't want to hear it anymore.
Hey, if you guys are tripping on names, like you're gonna hate this show. We butcher
I come up
your
with names all
screen
the
names
time,
on
but you know
Sleeper.
who I'm talking about.
If you don't know who
Frank
we're
tells
talking
us
about,
about David Carr
this isn't the-
sometimes, but we know
this
what he's
isn't
talking
the show
about.
for
Like,
you.
yeah.
If you don't know who we're talking
Hey,
about,
gotta
this
love
isn't the
it.
show for you. Oh no, we love you guys, man. We'll get it right.
Hey, we get out.
That's what.
Hey,
Hey, look at that perfect plug. Let's go. End it on that. We'll get it right.
Right?
Hey, we're staying in the chat, boys, so we'll be here.
Yes,
Continue with these questions. We love this. This is what we feed off of. Frank, Anthony, again, as always, we appreciate you guys being here. You can roll your sleeves down. I don't know what else to say.
That's
Peace
it,
out, man.
Mic
Thanks
drop.
for being here.
We out.
Somebody come up with a cool outro right now and just like coin it forever.
I'll get it. Start again.